Hey everyone, welcome to the beginning of Chapter 4. To start us off to set the feeling and mood, I have a story written by Mav, our player who used to be Dosh. I'm starving. Nuna Qualm watched a heavily manicured hand lift a finger of whiskey worth more than her life to a pair of lips that masked the canines of a predator. Or so she assumed. About the teeth, not the whiskey. Typhraylan watched her with unblinking eyes. The silence stretched out, and Nuna coughed just to fill the space. She was as used to unease as she was to the little black dress that Typh demanded she wear. That is to say, not at all. Nuna was always in control, and if she wasn't in control, she could rely on her wits. Or her guns. Usually, her guns. I know we're supposed to just talk business, but I couldn't help myself. I just had to get you... He paused, taking another sip of his drink. Typh leaned forward to finish a statement, but the waiter appeared, seemingly out of thin air. An old man, with posture straighter than a Corlean crossbow bolt, produced a bottle of wine. It appeared older than the city itself. What she could see of the label under a heavy layer of dust wasn't much. Brown and faded, an old Rethi language she couldn't read. This will be fine, Delium. She watched the waiter pour a small measure of a blood-red wine for both of them. She reached for it. What's the deal, Typh? I don't like these games. They aren't helping your cause. Typh downed the rest of his whiskey, handed the empty crystal glass to Delium the waiter, and picked up the wine. He brought the long-stemmed glass to his nose and inhaled deeply. This vintage always reminds me of home. Swirling the wine, he watched it with heavy eyes. Sometimes I think maybe I've associated this wine with home for so long that it's all in my head. If you aren't going to talk business, then I'm out. Nuna set the wine down and started to push out her chair when she heard the sound of a glass breaking. At the table next to them sat an elderly void and a lithe android, except the android was standing up, his arm outstretched. There was a strange black fluid dripping off the pristine tablecloth, pooling onto the blue and gold floor. It looked like the android just dropped his drink straight down onto the table. The void had a look of confusion mixed with worry on their face. The android looked around. I don't know why I did that. Nuna felt a strange tickle up her spine. She slowly reached under the table. Stuck to the underside was a gun, one she took great precaution to secure there days before this meeting. She felt for the cold metal, giving her a bit of confidence, a bit of that control she hungered for. Look, Nuna, drink and enjoy the company. Soon the food will arrive. We'll have all night to talk shop. He gave her a crooked smile. Anyways, what do Corleans usually eat? They're young, Nuna replied, all too eager to leave. Typh laughed a joyless laugh. Rehearsed is what Nuna would call it. Here she sat across from the richest man on the continent, and probably the entire plane, and she could see right through him. She wondered how he got so rich. Obviously he hadn't dealt with many Corlean rangers, but he was rich, and she needed funds. Nuna picked up the wine and downed the entire glass. Well, if that is the case, Typh, we're going to need more wine. They ate, and drank, and talked, and drank some more. Typh was a gentleman for the most part. Nuna kept him at a distance, and the hidden gun near her thoughts. It wasn't until the waiter had taken their plates that Typh finally said, "All right, let's talk." He reached into his vest pocket and pulled out a pack of expensive cigarettes. Real ones, not those nanosticks. The waiter again appeared like an apparition, but this time he produced a lighter. He flicked it with deft hands and lit Typh's cigarette. Typh drew on it lightly, flipped it in his hand, and held it out for Nuna. She waved him away. He shrugged and waved the waiter away. "Let me start." Nuna sat forward, put her elbows on the table, and folded her arms in front of her. You thought the ex-Marine would feel uncomfortable in a place this expensive. The dress would mean I couldn't conceal any weapons. You want me to be constantly on the back foot, trying to keep up with you. To you, business is war, and you have the home field advantage. She reached her hand out, and Typh placed the half-smoked cigarette between two calloused fingers. Nuna took a long drag and then handed it back. It won't work. Typh smiled, probably the first real smile he'd given Nuna this night. You're pretty savvy, Miss Qualm. I can see I chose well. Typh didn't move, he simply held out a hand, and a glass full of the same whiskey as before was handed to him. The waiter bowed before leaving. For most people, that would be pretty spot on, except you aren't most people. Nuna finished for him. You keep impressing me. Typh took a drink. He didn't move, but his entire demeanor seemed to change before her. His eyes grew sharp, his very presence seemed to grow threatening, like an ambushed predator moments before the leap. I wanted you here because I enjoy nice things. I wanted you to wear that dress because Corlean fatigues clash with the decor, and most importantly, Nuna Qualm, business is war. But I never fight my own wars. In perfect unison, every single patron of Dev Ulriam stood and turned towards Nuna. and just as fast as Nuno ripped the gun from under the table and had it pointed directly between Typh's cold eyes. Finally, now, we can talk business, Typh said as he put his cigarette out on the tablecloth. I want you to find Azrael Dawn and bring him to me. And if I do, Nuna's arm was steady. The gun did not waver. You will become a very rich woman. And if I don't, Typh smiled, a very real and terrifying smile. Then you'll have to kill everyone in this restaurant. Hey everybody, this is Jeff, your GM and narrator, and welcome to Chapter 4 of Big Campaign Stories. Before we get started, let's start with some lightsaber check. Marshall?
Hi, I'm Marshall, and I play Keegan, and my lightsaber check is 11. Jesse, why don't you go next?
Sure, I'm Jesse. I'm playing Oswald, and I got a 12. Go ahead, Sean.
You're a one-upper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Sean, and I'm playing 4s, and I rolled a 7 on my lightsaber. John, take us home.
This is John playing as Lucius, and I got a 1.
Oh, yeah!
Uh-huh.
Yeah! This is how we start out
Backed
season
up with
4.
Lucky 13. Sorry, everybody.
Oh.
Technically 2 1s.
It's a sunny day out. The clouds have parted, and the rain smell from the night before lingers on the air. But it is a somber day. Sabrina is dressed in black. The children are not here, but halflings from the district have gathered, as well as Karashi, Gore, Barry, Sharap, Akalik, and Max. The halfling preacher started their speech. Embora estejamos reunidos aqui hoje pela perda de uma vida, podemos nos reunir para lembrar a memória deles. Esper Benfica Shorebreach foi marido, pai, uma alma que nos foi dada por Yondala e Saint Arcani. The voice of the preacher will drift into the background as we go over to Lucius. We cut back to you in Xavier's office. Matilda's there in a jogging outfit with heavy-set peakers and her scarf and some Zell kicks on. And maybe it's because of Esper, but this is the first time really seeing your older brother as actually old. His hair is thinning and the grays are starting to come in. You're not sure how he got so many worry lines, but here he is, in a nice business suit with a sharp tie, leaning against a massive desk with a large window behind him, where you can see a worker outside cleaning off the smudge of a bullet strike. Outside of the window, you can see the red clay roofs, the white buildings of Selene. What do you want me to say, Lucius? Grandpa had me helping him with the arcane stuff. He needed help. I guess his group wasn't good at the runes or the magic side of things, more just kind of how to use magic for violence. Once I saw what he was trying, I had to stop it. I don't know if I could live with myself if I let my little brother die. And he'll chuckle as he pushes back his thinning hair and looks at Matilda and you. Heck, you're still my little brother. Matilda will look uncomfortable with all this, but she'll... Lucius, we didn't mean to hide it from you. We just thought we solved it. As they look at you.
Alright, I'll look them both over and just kind of a little bit angry, like, how could you both not tell me that this was all part of me coming back to life?
Matilda looks exasperated as she looks at Xavier, and Xavier kind of fills in with, I thought I adjusted it so that you didn't die. I thought I figured it out. Guess I couldn't solve it enough.
Alright, then let's hear the whole truth on it then. What the hell am I now?
Matilda would join you in kind of staring at Xavier, as he's what kind of led us all to this. You're still you, Lucius. Just everything that Grandpa tried to do, I took away from him. And it cost all of us, but we thought that maybe we could... I thought I was smart enough to be able to trick the magic into doing what I wanted it to do. And I did, mostly. But yeah, your soul is intertwined with Grandpa's. It's what gives you the magic you have now. It's why we don't have any.
But why couldn't you just trust our grandfather? He's always known best.
I thought Grandpa knew best until I looked over the runes he had me inspect. He knew I was good with these puzzles and these sort of things, and once I read what was actually kind of happening, it was clear that he was okay with losing you, and I wasn't.
He couldn't have been okay with that. You must have read it wrong.
Sure. I mean, he'll walk over and refill his drink, and yeah, I mean, that's always an option, right? Maybe I misread it, maybe I didn't get it, maybe I should have talked to him more, but Grandpa was a fighter. He was somebody who took charge and took the thing.
Probably had full base attack too.
So much base attack. But instead, I saw the kind of person who casts that spell, who does that work, is a weak person. A person who doesn't believe that they can do enough in their own life, that they have to have more. So I took that from him. And I guess, when I think about it, I took that from you as well. And he'll look at Matilda and I took away a future you could have had. I don't know what else I was supposed to do, Lucky.
Yeah, I don't know either. But as I understand it, people are coming after me because of this now. Or have been.
He'll point at the worker outside, and they're coming after all of us. We're all bound in the spell. All three of us have to die for Grandpa to come back.
Well, then the Anchored. You must have known about them all along. The attempt on my life, you didn't think to say anything?
I didn't know about them all along. They weren't in the notes. They weren't in this. I figured once Grandpa went away, the problem was done.
And what do you know about them now?
Well, honestly, not shit. I've just heard about them for the first time, but I do have a lot more context than I used to, and now I can start looking into them.
Yeah, see that you do.
Yeah, he'll be put back a little bit, and yeah.
I'll just start pacing, like I'm doing now in real life. What is the phylactery then?
It's the gem our parents bought. They got it harvested from Thus.
And then it is in Korza then?
Xavier will stop, and it's in Korza? I mean, I never knew where it was. I never saw it after that night.
Look at him weird.
Dad took it. But if it's in Korza, then I guess these Anchored you were mentioning might have it?
I was told that they didn't get to it. Maybe they didn't know what they were looking for. I don't know.
Okay.
But my contact inside the Perpetuals, Chesero, he says that they attacked Korza itself, looking for it.
Xavier will laugh a little bit at that. Like, you have a contact in the Perpetuals? Oh, what does that have to do with a repo business?
I'm up and coming.
Clearly. I have some people in the organization I work with now. I will find where these Anchored are at, and we'll just have to kill them.
You're a killer now?
He'll look at you with a stern look, and you can see his jaw tightens in frustration as I haven't killed anybody. Lucius, I'm just saying, I don't think these are the kind of people that stop because you tell them no.
I'll look over at Matilda, and what do you think?
Matilda looks distracted for a moment as she seems to be in conversation with somebody else, maybe using her sliver or, as you know, talking to her scarf. As she'll come back to it, and I don't really know what to do. Lucius, it's not our fault we're in this situation as much as Grandpa did something bad, and we need to stop that. I don't know how I feel about killing people, but if it's them or us, well, fuck them. Xavier will walk over the window and look outside as he's kind of like tumbling the drink around. Matilda will walk up to you, Lucius, and go for a hug.
Yeah, I'll resign to it and take it. Looks like we're all in this actually together now.
Lucius, go and give me a sense motive.
All right.
And these are humans you're interacting.
They're humans. We've been talking, but I haven't been trying to force a sense motive, so I'm not going to use my perform check on this. We're just going to go with... That's total of 10. I don't know nothing.
You think you hear Xavier say something to the glass, or at least to himself, but slightly out loud, but you don't catch it. And at the same time as Matilda hugs you, you can feel your shoulder gets a little damp as she does kind of whisper, "I'm sorry." But we'll cut back to the funeral as the preacher is still talking about Esper. Barry's close enough he can help translate for you. Instead of hearing him speak in Halfling, Barry is kind of translating that into Rethi for you all. A life cannot be measured in moments, but in accomplishments, and how much they forgive, and how much they love. With this, we see how Yandala judges the heart. You can see Sabrina standing there. She's doing a very good job of masking how upset she is. She's not crying, but there is a fierceness to her demeanor. We will cut to Keegan. It's been a week or so. The cameras are on point. The fence is flawless. Upstairs on the roof, you've put in new cameras. The vehicles are fixed. You've brought the sculptor back up. All the parts ordered, and it's been repaired to a point that it's functional now. Even Max and Colic are kind of in awe of how much stuff you've been making out of the gathered scrap of cars, weapons, things that you guys have brought in. Barry's gonna come down and bring you some food, and you've been working a lot, Keegan. Are you sure you don't want to rest?
Hey, Barry. No. Thank you. I know I need to keep busy. Still can't believe I lost that guy.
You didn't lose anyone. It is a shame what happened, but you're not to fault. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I should or could have done more, but there was a lot of threats, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't take them as seriously as we should have.
In the end, would you have tried to take his place? I'm not saying one life is worth more than the other. I'm simply saying that if it's a choice between the loss of you or him, that's a more difficult question that I think anyone should really ponder.
He's got kids. He's a good dad, and the guy got away. We have no leads, and still a mountain of threats. Just got to make this place safe and be ready for the next time.
No, that is, Barry will look at you for a long time before he will drift back inside, leaving you out in the junkyard to continue your work. Is there anything specific you're working on, or anything that,
Trying to get things a little organized out here is just continue to get things organized. I probably moved things around a few times. I'm kind of working on some little crab-like robots. There's 6 or so of them on a workbench. Just trying to find more pieces that'll work. They all look a little bit different, but they're all about football-sized.
Yeah, Max and Colic will try to come up to you and offer help, as though, hey man, is there something you need or something we can get?
Yeah, actually, I'm looking for a handful of size 7 gears, some hedron batteries, and a couple spools of copper wire.
Yeah, Colic will. Yeah, boss. Yeah, we can get that for you.
Thank you. I think I've got all our blind spots covered. Everything's functioning now, and I polished up the wrecker. What do you think?
Yeah, reinforced plating, a full tune-up and cleanup. The wrecker's working better than it ever has, and is far more durable. It'll be a lot harder for the next person to punch a hole into it.
And I upgraded the cooler to an actual fridge.
Yeah, you're still getting a hang of the gauntlet that you recovered from the Amon Protection Division mission. It seems to be able to open portals, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere here. So you haven't really found a use for it. But it does vibrate with power when you turn it on. It's something that you know would never go in a cage fight. Like, this is far too dangerous or lethal of a weapon.
Yeah.
But it is weird because the technology, or at least the mechanics behind it, seem to be vastly different from anything you've worked with before.
Something I barely remember seeing. I know that doctor had it. I think the doctor had it. Just kind of got wrapped up with stuff when it came out, when we got out. Gonna head over to the workbench and start moving some tools around, trying to, at this point, find something to keep doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Max and Colic will gather stuff, and Barry will check in. Occasionally, the meow from Cobbler, they come down and take a look before getting bored and wandering upstairs.
Yeah, I'll give him if I've got food around, I'll hand it to him or feed him with it before he leaves. Or if there's no food, then pet him a little bit, send him on his way.
All right, very well. Then we'll cut back to the funeral. You guys can see the flowers on the trees starting to bloom, leaves coming in. The sunlight feels warming on your suits as you are all gathered there. The preacher starts into their next portion as Barry translates. And so his soul ascends to the great farm, to the golden field, and let us now observe the last meal. Several of the closer halflings have plates of food, where they will cut a slice off a pie or take a portion of the meal and put that on their casket. Sabrina puts a small amount of kind of basically fried eggs on top of a apple pie, and then she will go back to where she's standing. Emotions obviously burning underneath as others start to come up and place down parts of their own meals that they've cooked for people. In the background, you guys can hear sirens and the sounds of the city. Oh, Keegan, I know you said you were going to pay for the funeral.
Yes.
What graveyard? Like, where are we burying Esper?
I would have defaulted to Sabrina on that, wherever she
Okay.
would have wanted him.
Yeah, there is a distinctly more halfling settlement called Middleton that you guys are all at on the other side of Duskmanter, close to the Spider Forest, as the people take their turns placing plates of food upon Esper's casket as the preacher nods on.
Is this what you want for your service, Jeff?
You guys better pour a shit ton of food on my body. Like, I want it to be nasty.
Pretty sure we're just gonna bury you inside of the world's largest chicken fried steak.
If I could become a chicken fried steak burrito at the end of my existence, I will have played this game correctly and won at life.
Midsummer, buddy's a chicken fried steak.
We have to keep this for the records.
As the preacher drones on, fours.
Yeah.
We cut to a moment. It's been over a week. You've been out wandering the streets in the form of Lucius. And it's been kind of interesting, right? You, in this form, are a full human, no longer a void. Seekers don't seem to notice you. Or weirder, those new APDs, the Amon Protection Division. You remember it was a couple days after Esper's death, but Typh made a big speech about controlling our borders, stopping terrorists like Prism, and so now you guys have these weird stained glass wing angel seekers flying overhead, like they don't already have cameras.
Right.
But occasionally you see them as they drift over, the hologram illusion to give them those wings as they're propelled by their jetpacks.
Very, very showy.
Mm-hmm. Can't sell security without the illusion.
God damn it.
But it's not until probably a week and a half into it, as you're walking through the streets, as a few moon rats will laugh and yell at you, "Take my shit," as they'll throw an empty beer can at you. Before the other one will, "Dude, bro, oh my god, that why are you throwing your beer?"
Does it come anywhere close to me? Okay.
It gets close, but
Okay.
it misses.
Yeah. Just keeping an eye out, scoping, trying to discreetly scope rooftops as I go.
Okay. Go and give me your perception check.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. 33.
Well, sure, if we just drop 20s. The poor bastard, they don't have a chance. As you pass in front of an alleyway, you not only hear, but you feel the thud of somebody dropping down from a ladder, or maybe a fire escape from above. They're trying to sneak in close. With that 33, you can hear as they draw a blade, as they're trying to get closer, but your tremor sense tells you this is the same person that you saw on that roof a week and a half back. And, as expected, once they're about, maybe 20 feet away, they break into a sprint, charging.
Yeah, how busy is the street?
I figure it'd be late at night that you're kind of doing this. Like, I mean, late at night was when this attack would happen. So it's busy enough, like, it's a big city, right? So there's always cars going by. But there's not too many people out walking, especially this close to Moonrat territory.
All right. I'm going to stay in a pool of streetlight, but I'll be ready to try and sidestep this guy. But it sounds like he's charging, so I'm not going to say anything because it sounds like it's all happening suddenly. So I'm just going to keep my response to you.
Okay, so if you're going to sidestep him, are you trying to, like, knock him prone, or are you just trying to dodge, or?
I'm kind of waiting for an opportunity to be able to speak, and I don't know how long this attack is going to go on for. So, maybe, getting them to overextend themselves and knock prone might be a good way to go.
Okay, go and give me your CMB as they come rushing upon you very quickly.
Well, that's a 19, Jeffrey.
Yeah, as you try to sidestep, it's not enough to throw them off balance, but they will slash by you with an Acanthian short sword, missing you.
All right.
You'll see the delivery outfit has been adjusted to be kind of an urban camo kind of painting style to it. You can see they have a pistol at their hip, they have the short sword in their hand, as they will slide into the light. And you can clearly see this is Damen.
I'm gonna stay in character. How much are they paying you?
Fuck, I thought there was two of me.
Enough. It's nothing personal. They just don't want to do it themselves. And he'll try to stab at you again.
Because your father lacked the courage.
Yes.
But with a natural 1, the Acanthian blade stabs into the brick next to you and sticks for a moment, forcing him to spend the rest of his turn to try to pull it back out.
All right. I'm gonna try and disarm him.
Okay.
If he's got his weapon stuck, I'm just gonna separate him from that situation.
Go ahead and give me that big old B.
B. And you think this enough amount, whatever that is beyond my means? I get a 16 on my B.
Alrighty. With a 16, they're able to block you from disarming them as they pull the blade out of the wall.
There have to be plenty of other ways to make that money.
I'll be honest, Lucius, I thought this would have been easy. I didn't expect you to have robots slapping my bullets out of the air, or I don't even know how I missed that last one, but I'm here in person to make sure we get it done. So if you don't mind,
I'm going to turn back into fours, and I'll say, "Who's we?"
as they go to slash at you and land the attack, they stop, just dropping the weapon as you turn back into fours. As Damen will, fuck, damn it, fours, what are you doing? I could have killed you.
With that thing?
Yeah, I can kill people with that thing.
I'm gonna poke at it a little bit with my finger.
It's really sharp. You got to be careful, man.
Seriously, why are you taking the job like this?
It's just a contract. Some weird magic dudes, and they wanted your boss dead and his siblings, and I don't know, weird magic people shit. They'll tuck away the blade into their pouch, and oh my god, and he'll spread his arms out. Give me a hug.
I'll move in for the hug. What? Not to harp on this, but what are they paying you?
I mean, it's a good contract. 40,000 credits, and then an extra 10,000 for each sibling beyond Lucius.
Oh, is this? This isn't Storm then. This has got to be the Anchored. Come on, you got to tell me who it is.
Yeah, he'll look confused. Storm. I don't work for any Storm, but oh yeah, that's what they call themselves. Fucking weird magic people. Yeah, they're the Anchored, whatever that means. Fucking boats.
All right. Well, we do have some connections. You want to be our inside guy?
Whoa, hold on. Like
switch sides.
All right, hold on.
You're saying you're afraid of magic guys?
Yeah, I can't do magic. Can you do magic?
No, but I'm not afraid of them.
Well, yeah, I've seen the guy you work for.
Oh,
Go ahead and give me a diplomacy for us.
All right. Hey, I can't roll bad. I just jinxed it, but I can't roll bad. I got a 19.
I mean, even with the family discount, how about this? I'll back out of my contract for 20,000, but I'm not under contract not to talk about them. So what do you want?
20,000. How long do I got until we get this little negotiation thing? Your contract can be suspended.
Well,
they don't exactly let me control the funds.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So I'd have to check.
All right, fine. What do you need? Like a month? A week? I don't know.
Oh, to suspend the job?
To get the funds. I'm still going to try to kill the guy until I get the funds.
I mean, yeah, I might need a day or so, but I mean, you're not gonna kill him, so I'm just asking you to stop. But
what do you mean I'm not going to kill him? Everybody dies when you shoot him with a goddamn bullet. They gave me like 4 different scrolls or something to make sure he stays dead or something.
oh man, what are those?
He'll pat himself and he's like, "Ah, shit, I did bring my rifle." Yeah, it's some spell, like, I don't know. They made it really simple. I read the thing, it triggers, but I got to shoot the bullet right away. Otherwise, the bullet will freeze in my gun.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those Uber bullets.
Yeah, it's made out of that that Zane stuff.
That black shell stuff.
Hell yeah, black shell stuff. Go for the high five and then not appropriate. Sorry.
So are you licensed or?
Oh yeah. I got my assassin license about 3 years ago.
And you've been pretty active?
Oh yeah. I mean, northern continent over here, but I don't mess with any of the Corleone stuff.
Like Corleone stuff?
Oh yeah. They are pretty strict over there. They got a supermax that I do not want to go to.
Fair. Are you keeping up with Res?
Yeah. Last time I talked with Russ, I think they started like a soap shop. I think it's in Stormwind, or I don't know. It's north of Anise. They're doing well though.
Nice.
Yeah, they have
So-
they have two little kin running around. It's nice.
Oh, right on. You'll have to go up and say hi sometime.
Yeah, I think they'd like that.
So 20,000 credits. How much do you usually pull down for a job?
Oh, I usually don't kill anyone for less than 40. But this was kind of a family package, so I made a deal.
All right. Well, it was good to see you.
Yeah. They'll give you their HCOM number, and yeah, just let me know when you got the money, and I won't kill your boss.
Right on. And I'm looking at the card. I'm slapping it against my back of my hand.
It's got a small picture of Damen, kind of a comic face of, we help get things done.
So did you try your hand at any of the firms? Or you like to be independent?
Yeah, work for someone like what? Applied Solutions? Sounds weird. I don't want to wear somebody's uniform. Sounds oppressive.
Oh yeah, what is he wearing right now?
Just like I said, a delivery outfit, kind of done in urban camo, and
Okay.
they'll be able to switch that from the urban camo setting to a neutral kind of just gray and black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. I love traveling and seeing a lot of people and places. I'm really liking it.
So I guess my last question is, there's no takebacks on that gun, right? These guys that hired you, they're not going to be sour on the backing out of the contract?
Well, I mean, obviously, if you pay me to back out of this contract, I'm gonna send them that money and get myself the hell out of the city before they find me. Because I'll be super honest, I do not like to mess with magic dudes. They get weird.
Tell me about it. But hey, we're going to have to keep on dealing with these guys after you're gone. So any other information you can tell us about what they got planned, what they got going on, would be just rad.
Hey, I'm not going to let a kin down. I'll give you a freebie right now, but once you send me, let's say, 5K credits, I'll answer whatever you want for the next one.
All right.
Nah,
All right,
family discount. Ask a couple.
All right. I'll see what I can do. I am pretty friendly with accounts receivable.
They'll walk up and go to give you a hug again, and good catching up. Yeah, I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't kill you.
Again, just not a problem. And I'll go in for another hug.
As they pat you on the back, they'll, oh man, that would have been awkward as hell. I guess I have to check now, right? Can't just snipe him. Gotta make sure it's not you. Ah.
I'll be like, making it complicated.
Always. You always do this. All right, see you around, Forrest.
Yep. Give him a short wave as I move back into the street.
Before they leave, they'll, man, Grisaya would, I like to think Grisaya would laugh at this.
I mean, yeah, just the absurdity of it, probably.
Right? All right, take care. And they'll start jogging down the street before going and sitting at a bus stop.
Yeah, I'll just be kind of sort of in a weird cloud, just like an odd shake up as I walk down the street back towards the neighborhood. But now that I've got his number, I remembered he needs to apologize for Esper.
We'll flash back to the funeral. The preacher right now is speaking out to everyone. As everyone who didn't give food is dropping a flower into the grave for Esper. It's been about 3 hours now, and they're just starting the final hymn. As the sun is reaching about noon, you guys are starting to sweat a little bit underneath the suits. As we'll cut over to Oswald. It's been a long time, Oswald, but you've finally gotten good rest. Actual sleep. Real sleep. No drugs, nothing else. And it was amazing. You wake up, Cobbler's there. You can hear the halfling couple downstairs arguing as they're baking. You don't feel bad. There's no dreams of razor grass, no hunt. There's just dreams of the sky and the horizon. As you've been pondering in your apartment, you're still having a little bit of trouble with corners. They're kind of tricky, right? You haven't been able to slip through them quite like you did that one time, but you understand that it needs to be a proper right angle. These curved edges, rounded walls, or if it's a little bit too wide, it's just useless to you. As you move around at night in the city, you have found a couple places that are willing to install some circadian cyberware to kind of help you stay up. Though they do require a little bit of a down payment, and they do require you to sign some forms saying that, number one, your employer is not forcing you to get this upgrade, as well as that you will not turn it above its installed setting. Knowing that you can turn these things up to, well, almost 10 days at a time, but the backlash is pretty strong.
Yeah.
So legally, they make you sign paperwork saying you won't turn it above 2.
Got it. Yeah, I'll happily sign that paperwork, and as soon as I exit the shop, turn it to 3.
Yeah, you notice like when you crash after 3 days, it's a hard crash. Like when the sleep finally hits you, it's like that's when your dreams go to razor fields and the hunt.
Yeah.
But there's always an odd part of those dreams is in the distance, over those fields, is a clear sky, as blue as it is at the funeral. But the day that stands out to you is about 4 or 5 days ago, after you've got the cyberware installed, as you're out there moving about the city. Go and give me your perception.
All right. Total of 27.
Awesome. You will hear him approach before you see him, as out of the night sky, you'll see someone you've seen before. Someone you've actually helped. They'll land in front of you. Their prosthetics seem a lot more natural now as they drift down. Carver, if you recall. You can still see the Bodak tattoos, the blackening around the eyes. Before he'll, hey, I've seen you bouncing around. You're not with those other riggers, are you?
I'm probably standing there like in a really tense posture, like I'm ready to fight.
He'll put his hands up and, no, I don't have any weapons. I just kind of checking to see if you're doing okay. I don't see a lot of people up here.
Who are the riggers?
Small gang, they have gear like you do. They've been running some high-rise grifts and stealing, you know? Carver will step into the light a bit. He's wearing casual clothes, logo on it for some local punk band, the Burnt Elvish Pastries, and a necklace with a silver feather on it. You can see the Mithril and Mawine prosthetics that he has for his arms and legs that were lost to the grasp that he used to use.
Is the punk band a reference to something for somebody?
Not at all. Like I was trying to think of a reference and I was like, nah, let's start something fresh. And considering elves aren't in the world, but they are historically a thing.
I like it.
I'll kind of look distracted and say, no, I'm not with them. I haven't heard of them.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm Carver, and he'll put out his metallic arm.
I will definitely hesitate, but I will shake his hand. Oswald, are you? What are you doing out here?
I just like to fly. I find it really fun. Oh, you got claws. That's cool.
Yeah, that's. I'll trail off and not really explain any further. Do you come out every night? You always in this neighborhood?
Yeah. The Bodaks. I helped the Bodaks. I paid off, I guess, what I needed to, and they call me up sometimes. But I guess now I just kind of enjoy doing work for people.
Are you still using grasp, or you got some other way of flying around?
No, you'll see him as he looks down his hands and moves mechanical joints. The balanced engineering arms and all that kind of keep me connected with the parts of myself that I lost. And I can still tap into that. I don't have to use it anymore, which is good, really. I can't push anything, but I can still fly, which is my favorite part.
Yeah, the flying is good. Sometimes you do gotta push things, though. Oswald's definitely looking contemplative, thinking on other memories.
Are you trying to get him to start drugs again?
No, I'm just...
Sometimes you need to push things, buddy. You know what I mean?
Well, Oswald has some grasp that he's never used, and he's always thought about it. It's been like in the back of his head, like, maybe I might need this someday.
Yeah, you stole that from Toger Crow's estate.
Mm-hmm. But I did see, what it was doing to Carver, so it's like, well, I also don't want my arms and legs to fall off. That sounds pretty bad. Oswald will be torn, right? He's trying to be friendly and make conversation with Carver, but he's also like really distracted and naturally a little bit socially awkward and doesn't really know how to proceed. And he's kind of just like looking around a lot.
Carver will, I don't want to bother you. I don't see a lot of people out here up this high, and you weren't with the other group, so figured you might be safe to talk to, and you're part of the group that got me my arms and legs, so thought I'd say hi. Don't worry about it. You're busy.
Well, is the other group not safe to talk to?
I don't really like the gangs. I don't know. They always just kind of felt bad, right? Like being tied down, and they always make you do stuff that you don't want to always do. But hey, luckily I ran into the Bodax, and they were nice enough to let me go when they were done asking for favors and getting me this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's probably kind of like a family, right? Like sometimes you do stuff for them that you don't want to do, and they do stuff for you that they don't want to do, and everybody kind of helps each other out, usually, if it's a good family. And if it's not, then, you head out and you make your own family.
Yeah. You can give me a sense motive.
All right. Sense motive. Total of 22.
Yeah, you can see that Carver gets kind of a serious look on his face of, yeah, kind of like a family. Anywho.
Yeah. Hey, you know where I work, right?
I think so.
Over at Bold Requisitions, and I'll kind of point towards the building. I imagine he's...
You're over by the new Bah Hamburgers?
Yeah. Anyway, there really shouldn't be very many people on that roof. I mean, it's cool if you are. That's not what I'm saying. But if you spot like somebody you don't know on that roof, could you give me a call?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. I'll trade HCOM numbers with him.
Yeah, he'll trade HCOM numbers, and he'll pull out a bag and take care of Oswald, and he'll drop it on the floor there for you. You can see it has the label on the outside from Gravity Euros. There's one kind of beef euro, one chicken euro, and I'll talk to you next time.
Cool, thank you.
Before he will take off into the sky.
Yeah, I'll pick up the bag. That was weird. Never had random sky euro delivery.
As he flies away with a 22 on your sense motive, you can tell he was trying to make a friend.
Yeah, and I did not play it right.
So we will cut back to the preacher as we go back to the funeral, the birds chirping, the sun coming down, as the preacher will move from person to person, shaking hands and offering a small prayer for all the attendees. He'll come to each of you in turn and shake and bless you and thank you for coming out. And as the halflings start to head back to their vehicles, as the area starts to empty, Sabrina will stop in front of all of you. Thank you so much for coming. You can hear she's talking through like gritted teeth. Not sure what to do next, but the children aren't coming back until either Esper does or I kill the person who did this. She'll pass you guys by as she heads out towards the vehicle to take her home, and Karashi will follow behind. As you get into the wrecker, Keegan, you have a voicemail.
Keegan, just listen. I represent an organization which your father owes a lot of credits to. For perspective, $5,000 would be a measly down payment. However, I am in need of a favor. You do this, and we will let him keep gambling, or whatever it is he does. Call me back with your answer, before his chips run out.
And that's where we'll end the session.
I'm walking on sunshine. Nice. No, good session.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Like, rate, review, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Our music, opening and closing, was from Nihilor, How to Survive the Pre-Apocalypse. You also heard Can't Be a Hero, as well as Dark Beats by Yarphonk and Mangled Mind by Unknown. Alright, bye. Bye.